Happy lunch hour, gang. Well, here it is today, Tuesday, and by now the polls are open in Nevada. It is primary day, and Joe Biden and Nikki Haley are trying to see who's going to get the Democrat nomination for president. Pretty much. Okay. Uh, yeah, next week we'll have the Nevada caucus, which is actually the one that awards delegates, and Trump is the only one on the ballot for the Republicans there. So, yeah, by default, today's a waste of time for the GOP to pay attention to what's going on in Nevada. Okay. Uh, which makes it kind of interesting because I know everybody's going to say, but Nikki Haley's a Republican. Really, you could have fooled me by any of her policies, okay? Including the latest one where this farce of a border bill that's going up to the House that the Senate passed, the Democrat controlled Senate, which won't go anywhere in the GOP controlled House because no, we're not letting in 1.8 million illegals a year. No, we're not fast tracking asylum from 10 years to 6 months. No, we're not going to inundate the United States with welfare recipient foreigners. Okay? But Nikki Haley, like Joe Biden, supports the bill. Like Nikki Haley supports everything else that the Democrats want. I mean, the most interesting part would be today is to see who gets more of the vote in Nevada, whether it's Nikki Haley or Joe Biden, and that should tell the Democrats who they should put on the ticket in November. Okay, be kind of interesting because they're basically cut from the same cloth. They both want wars around the world. They both believe in an open southern border, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, kind of interesting to watch that one. That means absolutely nothing today, but it'll be funny to see if Biden doesn't even get as many votes as his rhino competitor. Not that they're competing against each other. You get my point here. So the other thing that came out this morning was the D.C. Appeals Court. Remember, D.C.'s 90% liberal. Okay. Ruled that Trump is not immune from prosecution for the 2020 election interference case. Jack Smith's deal here. Now, the three judges that oversaw this were two Biden appointees and a George H.W. Bush appointee. You know how well the Bush family likes Trump. Okay. So we get into that, but it's going to be kind of interesting because this is the case where the judge has already delayed the trial indefinitely, which basically means it'll never come to trial. The Trump campaign has already said, or Trump himself has already said, they want this to go to the Supreme Court, okay, which it should. Okay. They're asking about whether Trump has immunity from prosecution for the coup he was trying to stage, the insurrection, the overthrow of power. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but on Inauguration Day 2021, when Trump was supposed to be out of the White House by noon, Trump was out of the White House by noon. Didn't try to call in the military to keep Joe out or anything like that. So it's kind of hard to prove a coup. I'm waiting to see all this evidence that the Democrats are going to put up to say how Trump tried to keep Biden from taking power, that Trump was going to stay in power. It's going to be what? Well, Joy Reid said this, or Jimmy Kimmel said this, Nancy Pelosi said this. That's not evidence, okay? The fun one is going to be, what did Donald Trump say? And that one, they're going to have a fun time where, well, he said for everybody to go peacefully protest in front of Congress. Keyword there was peacefully. Going to have a real hard time. I mean, the liberal dictionary, we already know how they define peacefully. So that may be the evidence. that, you know, well, in our mind, a peaceful protest is burning down buildings and beating people. So that must be what Trump was trying to do. No. By logical, common sense, people with a brain, peacefully means do no harm. Yeah. Which is kind of what happened on January 6th. You know, I don't remember seeing any stories about Capitol police officers getting killed from the protests. Oh, but he had a heart attack the next day. Great. Did he get the arm ticket? That might have been a cause. Just saying. Okay. You know, remember the only person that died on January 6th was Ashley Babbitt. Okay. One of the protesters. Okay. You know, remind me again all the damage that was done when the Capitol building was burned down. Oh, yeah, it wasn't. So let's see. I mean, maybe we can go after Trump for the repairs to the congressional offices and send him a bill for a bottle of pledge to wipe the footprints off Nancy Pelosi's desk. And we can call this done. Okay. It's just kind of interesting seeing everything that's going on in the political landscape today. You know, like I said, the border bill, the Nevada primaries, this farce of a ruling from some liberal judges. The funny part, if you go back to it, is taking a look at this border bill. And Chuck Schumer is having kittens, which I am thoroughly enjoying. Okay. Because after the Republicans were, some of them, I mean, Senator Lankford from Oklahoma, writing the bill, okay, being one of the three senators who wrote this bill, Lankford is now saying that he probably won't support it. Mitch McConnell, the turtle, okay, the guy that Kentucky you better throw out, okay, after talking about how much he was supporting the bill, is now suggesting to the Republicans in the Senate that they need to, or suggesting to the Republican Party in the House, they need to turn this down. Mike Johnson has come out, Speaker of the House, and said it ain't even coming to a vote. And Schumer's having kittens, like I said. If you don't do this, you better get ready to send your kids to Europe to go to war against Russia. So let me ask you this, Chuck. Are you now saying that we are in a war against Russia? Is that what you're saying right now? That we're not actually defending Ukraine? That we're actually fighting against Russia? That we're actually in a war? Is that what you're telling us? That we've got a declared war that Congress didn't declare war for? That might be something that would be, oh, I don't know, an impeachable offense? Just saying, okay? If the Senate Majority Leader is saying war, might have to question that one a little bit. I got a suggestion, Chuck. Why don't we send your relative Amy Schumer and all the rest of the Schumer children and grandchildren first in line? You want a war so bad, put your money where your mouth is. You know, you want to pay to have other people killed. Nah, I say we start with you. You guys sure seem to want to hold everybody else's feet to the fire to make the American public, you know, Joe Average's sons and daughters to fight economically, militarily, everywhere else to defend our country against an invasion that we see in our country. But you're more concerned about invasions in another country. If it's so damn important to you, Chuck, we don't need to send money. You can go yourself. I'm sure Ukraine has a wooden rifle you can train with.